any properties that do a better job of analyzing, parodying, and dissecting current events than South Park. The satire is made all the more poignant by its ability to stay topical. Sure, on one level, it's a series of dick and fart jokes, but when you unpack some of its core references, it can be quite profound.
Oh my god, a rattlesnake!
Welcome to this Wisecrack edition on References in South Park. The Celebrity Harvest. Britney's new look is one of the more gruesome South Park episodes. In it, Britney Spears goes camping in South Park, pees on a ladybug, is hounded by paparazzi, and Cobains herself.
No!
She spends the rest of the episode walking around like this until the people of South Park literally photograph her to death. The episode is a reference to the 1948 short story The Lottery by Shirley Jackson, where a small town draws lots to determine who gets stoned to death as a sacrifice for a good harvest.
Used to be we just picked someone by lottery and then stoned them to death.
The Lottery is a commentary on mob psychology, tradition, and scapegoating. It interrogates how easily tradition can justify unspeakable cruelty. South Park substitutes lottery winner Tessie Hutchinson with Britney Spears. The story plays with the typical lottery narrative, which is instantaneous riches for a few lucky people who live happily ever after. Except in this case, you don't get that happy ending, you get stoned. And not the good kind. Similarly, South Park takes the idea of celebrity, which is also a means of instantly generating piles of cash for very lucky people, and shows that, well, celebrity can be a curse.
Leave Britney alone!
South Park exposes the cruel, sacrificial economy of celebrity reporting. People grind their entire lives to become famous, and if their hard work pays off, they face the possibility of getting symbolically stoned in the tabloids. The stones from the lottery are substituted with camera flashes and comments about Britney's boob job scars, camel toe, and weight.
And she's all fat, too.
This, in light of her missing skull, satirizes tabloid media's ruthless disregard for celebrities' humanity in pursuit of profit. In The Lottery, Old Man Warner says, "Lottery in June, horn be heavy soon." The South Park version of the character says,
"Sacrifice in March, corn have plenty starch."
The Lottery exposes the shallow justification for human sacrifice and the complicity of the surrounding public. Britney's publicist, her music producers, the MTV Awards, and the paparazzi are all just as responsible for her public execution.
She's dead.
Britney's new look exposes the cult of celebrity as a ruthless economy built on voyeuristic consumption of celebrity dysfunction. Ads, artificial intelligence, and the femme fatale. In the last 3 episodes of season 19, Jimmy discovers that ads have become indistinguishable from reality and even other people. The show develops this idea with some clever nods to sci-fi classics about artificial intelligence. Jimmy's interrogation of Leslie is a nod to the interview scene in Ex Machina, except Leslie is an ad, and Ava is a very sexy robot. After interviewing Leslie, Jimmy asks the newsmen,
Does she know she's an ad?
which is a nod to Blade Runner.
She's a replicant, isn't she?
Ex Machina and Blade Runner explore the line between humanity and machine. They effectively ask, what does it mean to be human? In South Park, the replicants are replaced by advertisements that have adapted so well that they are indistinguishable from humans.
And may God bless the United States of America.
A dig on sponsored content, the idea is that most advertising is now indistinguishable from most of the news people consume. The final episode opens with PC Principal savagely massacring a room full of ads, similar to the way Deckard retires replicants. He even quickly administers the Voight-Kampff test before he kills them.
An African-American flips a turtle over on its back. A transgender Filipino comes and sees the helpless turtle baking in the sun. What color is the Filipino's father?
The tortoise lays on its back, its belly baking in the hot sun, beating its legs, trying to turn itself over, but it can't.
The Voight-Kampff test gauges empathy reactions by administering a series of questions about animals that allegedly tells the difference between humans and replicants. In South Park, the test determines if you are PC, and if you don't care about being PC, then you aren't human.
I didn't think you were human.
South Park also borrows the femme fatale trope from Ex Machina and Blade Runner. Kyle and Jimmy fall for the supposedly sizzling ad Leslie, Deckard falls in love with the sexy replicant Rachel, and Caleb falls for smoking hot robot Ava, and they're all thinking with their dicks.
Jimmy, you're thinking with your dick.
South Park's stroke of genius is subtle. By placing PC Principal in the advertisement with Leslie, it puts PC Principal in the same existential crisis as Deckard. Is he human or something else?
What the hell's going on, bro?
However, instead of just being an interrogation of humanity, South Park folds a criticism of cultural capitalism into its narrative. PC Principle is tantamount to a lifestyle brand that can be advertised. Advertising succeeds because it sells people on a way of living. It paints a beautiful picture to be adhered to.
That's what an ad does. She was designed to entice and manipulate.
All of the products that are part of that life are just necessary components, and being PC is just one of them. Sneechin' Skaws, Childhood Up in Smoke. The episode Skaws for Applause takes aim at childhood heroes. Jesus and Stan are stand-ins for Lance Armstrong, and the moral center of Dr. Seuss stories is twisted a bit. When it's revealed that Jesus didn't actually suffer for anyone's sins because he was on painkillers and HGH, the people of South Park line up to cut off their What Would Jesus Do bracelets off in an effigy at the local Walgreens.
Jesus did not suffer for our sins. He was in fact very high.
The episode comments on the Lance Armstrong doping scandal and the folks that jumped off the Livestrong bandwagon after they learned that Lance was a dirty, dirty cheater. While the episode could spend the entire time dumping on Lance for cheating, South Park does something interesting. They turn the episode into a criticism of the general population. Halfway through the episode, the animation changes and everything goes Seuss mode. When Stan and Jesus want to make new bracelets to raise awareness for the farmers of Belarus, they visit Dr. P.F. Pitiat Bracelets and Factory, a reference to Sylvester McMonkey McBean from The Sneetches. The Sneetches are Seussian characters that are either born with or without stars on their bellies. Sly McBean preys on the Sneetches' desire to feel special by removing or adding stars to their bellies. McBean makes bank doing these operations until, in the end, the Sneetches can't tell the difference between the OG star bellies and the OG non-star bellies. The language on thars, the animation, and the rhyme scheme used in South Park are all mirrored from the Sneetches story. Like McBean with his stars, P.F. Pitiat removes and creates new Skaws bands to wear. And the name Pitiat is clear reference to an economics that preys on pity and self-congratulations.
Okay, I need a violet one for domestic violence, a lime one for herpes, and a jade green one for how much I hate cow.
Absolutely. $5, please.
Raising awareness is ridiculed as a form of sick pity where the person giving gains more via their self-gratification than the receiver of aid.
Kids, okay, I need to talk to you about a serious matter. Now, you've probably all noticed my orange wristband, okay? It's to show my solidarity with the people of Belarus.
In The Sneetches, Dr. Seuss preaches kindness and focuses on commonalities as a way of bringing people together, while South Park suggests that today's kindness and love of difference is likely no more than a way for people to build their cultural capital.
Dude, I don't give a crap about using recycled plastic. Yes, you do. I guess I do care about that.
The episode lampoons people like Cartman who wear charities on their sleeve as a fashion statement. Instead of actually doing the hard work of helping others, people prefer causes that require little to no effort. South Park takes the structure of a Dr. Seuss story and deprives it of its moralistic content. It takes the somewhat non-controversial act of consciousness raising and reveals the perverted narcissism that pervades these acts of charity. Disaster films. Disaster films are common fodder for South Park. The episode P is basically 2012.
That's 2012! The Mayans predicted this!
Pandemic and Pandemic 2 The Startling make fun of POV disaster films like Cloverfield, and 2 Days After the Day After Tomorrow makes fun of The Day After Tomorrow. But these references aren't just throwaways.
I will come for you. Do you understand me?
I'm coming for you. Do you hear me?
The over-the-top hyperbole challenges the current trend of media fear-mongering with doomsday warnings and apocalyptic scenarios.
They mutated in a way that scares us.
Each episode has some sort of calamity. In P, earthquakes and tsunamis of urine at PP Splashtown threaten the lives of the children. In Pandemic, it's giant guinea creatures terrorizing the world. In the 2 days after the day you know what episode I'm referring to, it's the flood of Beaverton. When too many people pee in the water park, there's a tsunami. A single boating accident leads the town to believe that a runaway ice age is about to start. And when the head of Homeland Security attempts to stop a pandemic of Peruvian panpipe bands,
this is a pan flute epidemic. A pandemic?
Giant guinea attack. Each episode riffs on the reactionary nature of media, panic, and subsequent news coverage. In the 2 days after episode, the news reports that the town of Beaverton has hundreds of millions dead, even though the population of the town is only in the thousands.
We believe that the death toll may be in the hundreds of millions.
Beaverton has only a population of about 8,000, Tom, so this would be quite devastating.
Later, the news reports that Chicago has 600 billion casualties.
Already we're reporting that the death toll here in Chicago is over 600 billion people.
A direct reference to the news reports that inflated the initial death tolls of Hurricane Katrina.
We're reporting that there's looting, raping, and yes, even acts of cannibalism.
The reference to people looting, raping, and acts of cannibalism divulged without any actual reporting is a scathing indictment of our current journalistic practices that merely circulate news without any fact-checking or independent verification. And shit, this is before the stunning revelation that we live in a post-fact world. Similar to the narratives of disaster that instantly seek a cause, purpose, or person responsible for these cataclysmic events,
the flood in Beaverton was caused by global warming!
The people of South Park are less concerned about helping the people of Beaverton and are more interested in playing the blame game.
It's George Bush's fault!
It was terrorists and Al-Qaeda! Don't blame the mayor, Sharon. What about FEMA? I think this whole thing is really their fault.
But when Stan says,
I broke the dam,
no one listens because it doesn't fit their narrative of blame.
Don't you see what this child is saying? We can't spend all our energy placing blame when something bad happens. He's saying we all broke the dam.
No, I broke the dam.
South Park takes the tropes of disaster films, thinly connected plot points, sketchy scientific discourse, shaky handheld cameras, and ridiculous over-the-top catastrophe sequences, and pushes them to their extreme to show the inanity of both the disaster genre and contemporary journalism. Conclusion. Following in the traditions of Jonathan Swift, O. Henry, and Mark Twain, Trey Parker and Matt Stone paint a bleak picture of society. A world of sexy robots, politically correct bullies, foul-mouthed children, sentient Whole Foods, and an endless number of clueless celebrities. South Park disembowels popular culture and feeds the audience the intestinal spillage. It cannibalizes the tropes and references that circulate through American discourse, and it represents them in digital construction paper in order to create a new understanding. And it's awesome. Thanks for watching.
Hello wisecrack, German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche here. Danke for watching. I'm here to tell you about the best service for distracting yourself from the hideous, empty loneliness of existence. That's right, I'm talking about Loot Crate. For less than $20 a month, you get a box packed with geek and gamer items delivered straight to your door. Why spend your time staring into the abyss when you can fill it with unique collectibles, apparel, and more from all your favorite franchises? The January Loot Crate theme is Das Origins, where you can find awesome items from Superman, Captain America, Mario, and Ninja Turtles. You won't want to miss this crate, so sign up now at lootcrate.com/wisecrack to get 10% off a new subscription and access to exclusive items from all these epic franchises. Like life itself, this deal won't last long. Achtung! You only have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific time to sign up and get the Origins crate, so don't wait. Go to lootcrate.com/wisecrack, sign up and enter the code wisecrack to save 10% off a new subscription. Dankeschön to Loot Crate for sponsoring this video. And for more super smart videos that will ease the inevitable suffering of personhood, be sure to check out the Wisecrack channel page and watch the video exploring the philosophy of South Park Season 19. And be sure to subscribe while you're there. Now I've got to take my horse to the vet.